NASCAR has been facing a lot of problems lately, and the opening race of the season was nothing short of chaotic. The Daytona 500 was packed with controversy, unexpected results, and some questionable decisions. One of the biggest moments of the race came with about 15 laps remaining when Joey Logano and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. clashed. Logano attempted to make a move, but Stenhouse blocked him aggressively. Instead of backing off, Logano kept pushing. This resulted in both cars losing control and taking out multiple other drivers, including Kyle Busch. The wreck changed the entire outcome of the race. And in today's episode, we are diving deep into all the drama that happened at Daytona. From the controversial wrecks to NASCAR's inconsistent officiating, there is a lot to break down. This type of incident is not new for Joey Logano. He's known for being a very aggressive driver. While aggression can sometimes lead to victory, it can also cause unnecessary crashes. Analysts and fans have criticized Logano for taking too many risks at crucial moments. His aggressive style has led to multiple wrecks over the years, and this race was another example of that. Kyle Busch was not happy about the crash. After the race, he openly questioned Logano's decision-making. He pointed out that Logano didn't need to make the move when he did. It was a risky choice, and it ended up costing him a chance at victory. Logano had led 43 laps in the race, but because of the crash, he finished in 35th place. That is a huge drop for a driver who had a real shot at winning. The wreck involving Logano was just one of many controversies in the race. Another major incident occurred on the final lap. Cole Custer, who had just returned to full-time racing, was in a great position to win. However, things went completely wrong. As the field approached the checkered flag, Custer had a strong run and was looking to make a move. Instead, his decision led to a massive crash that changed the outcome of the race. William Byron, who was not expected to be in contention at that moment, ended up winning the race because of the wreck. Many people blamed Custer for causing the crash. Denny Hamlin was especially vocal about it. He felt that Custer made an unnecessary move that ruined the race for others. Hamlin explained that he had positioned himself well and was ready to fight for the win. He gave Custer enough space, but instead of taking a clean path, Custer appeared to steer left and create chaos. Hamlin felt that if Custer had been more careful, they all could have raced to the finish without a massive wreck. Instead, the crash took out several top drivers and allowed Byron to slip through and take the win. This type of controversy is common at Daytona, but that doesn't make it any less frustrating for the drivers involved. Every year, the race seems to have a major wreck that changes everything in the final moments. The aggressive racing style that many drivers use at superspeedways makes crashes almost inevitable. However, some drivers believe that certain wrecks could be avoided with better decision-making. After the race, the debate over aggressive driving intensified. Some fans and analysts believe that drivers like Logano and Custer need to be more careful in these high-stakes moments. Others argue that aggressive moves are just part of racing and that blaming individual drivers is unfair. One of the main problems is that NASCAR has struggled to find the right balance between exciting racing and safety. Fans love the close battles and dramatic finishes, but no one wants to see unnecessary crashes. When top drivers get taken out because of aggressive moves, it leads to frustration and controversy. Another issue is the inconsistency in NASCAR's decisions. The organization has been criticized for how it handles certain situations. Some drivers feel that penalties and rulings are not applied evenly. This only adds to the frustration when controversial wrecks happen. For example, some people felt that NASCAR should have penalized Logano for his move on Stenhouse. Others believed that Custer's late race actions should have been reviewed more closely. But in both cases, NASCAR did not take any action. This led to further debates about whether the rules are being enforced properly. The Daytona 500 is supposed to be a showcase for the sport, but instead, it has raised more concerns. NASCAR needs to address these issues before they become bigger problems. And if drivers continue to push too hard and cause wrecks, it could lead to even more controversy. The sport thrives in competition, but there has to be a balance between aggressive racing and smart decision-making. After the race, Cole Custer shared his thoughts during an interview. He talked about how chaotic the final laps were. Drivers were pushing, shoving, and side-drafting as they tried to position themselves for the win. Custer said he wished he and Austin Dillon could have stayed together, but everything happened so fast. Field blocking and aggressive moves made it difficult for anyone to stick to a plan, and in the end, it was every driver for themselves, trying to get to the finish line first. Custer admitted that he needed to watch a replay to fully understand what happened, especially if he made contact with another car. But one thing was clear, he was frustrated because his team worked hard all week to prepare the car, only to fall short in the final corners. Kyle Busch had already voiced his frustrations about the race. This time, it was Denny Hamlin who was not happy. Hamlin believes NASCAR has taken away the skill that once made the race special. He argued that in the past, winning at Daytona required a combination of the best car, the best driver, and the best strategy. But now, he believes winning is based mostly on luck. Hamlin recalled how cars used to be difficult to drive at 200 miles per hour, making it a true test of talent. Now he says, drivers just knock each other out of the way, and that has changed the nature of the sport. Hamlin also spoke as a co-owner of 23XI Racing, a team he runs with NBA legend Michael Jordan. He said his team spends millions of dollars to ensure their cars are competitive. But with how NASCAR races play out now, all that money and effort might not even matter. He called the current situation a crapshoot, where skill plays less of a role than luck. For Hamlin, this is a major concern, and he wonders if NASCAR will ever fix it. Drivers were not the only ones upset. NASCAR insiders also questioned how the race ended. Jeff Gluck was shocked that NASCAR left the race finish without throwing a caution. He pointed out that earlier in the week, during the duel races, NASCAR made a different call. In duel number 2, a crash happened coming out of turn 4, and NASCAR threw the caution immediately. This meant Eric Jones, who crossed the finish line first, was not declared the winner. Instead, NASCAR ruled that the caution happened before he finished the race. Many people disagreed with that decision, but in the Daytona 500, NASCAR did the opposite. They let the race continue without throwing the caution, allowing William Byron to reach the finish line first. This inconsistency confused Gluck and many others. He joked that even if a massive obstacle appeared on the track, drivers would still stay in the gas and race to the finish. His point was simple: NASCAR drivers never lift off the throttle at the end of a race, so NASCAR's caution calls should be consistent. Should NASCAR have thrown caution or let the race finish the way it did? Many fans felt like they were left with more questions than answers. Some believed NASCAR made the right call by letting the race play out naturally. Others felt like the inconsistency in their decision-making was a problem. Drivers like Hamlin and Busch were clearly unhappy, believing that luck played too big a role in the outcome. The Daytona 500 has always been an intense and unpredictable race. It is what makes it exciting, but it also creates controversy. Every move on the track can change the outcome, especially in the final laps, but should a driver's fate be left entirely up to chance? That is what many people are asking. For years, NASCAR fans have debated the role of luck versus skill in superspeedway racing. Some argue that pack racing makes it impossible for skill alone to determine a winner. Others say that in the past, the best drivers still found a way to win. What is clever is that NASCAR's current system leaves many drivers feeling frustrated. They want to feel like their talent and hard work make the difference, not just random circumstances. Another question is whether NASCAR should rethink how it officiates races. Should there be a clear rule about when a caution is thrown at the end of a race? Many people think so. Consistency is important in any sport. If NASCAR threw the caution in the duel race, why didn't they do the same in the Daytona 500? These are the types of questions NASCAR needs to address moving forward. Some fans enjoy the chaos. They love the unpredictable finishes, even if it means their favorite driver loses because of bad luck. Others think the sport has lost some of its integrity. The drivers who work the hardest and have the best cars should have the best chance to win. But right now, it feels like winning is a gamble. Now don't hesitate to comment down your thoughts on this, and while you're down there, make sure to smash that subscribe button as well.